Hey everyone, it's Trader Rob. Today is Wednesday, April 2nd, and holy cow, what a roller coaster ride in the markets. Actually, everything seemed pretty normal today, and we saw, and I swear this chart was super clean up until right around, what was that? Just three about 3 o'clock. Um, I mean, that was like 1,000 point swing really quickly. That was crazy. But either way, I want to show the trades that I've taken over this week. I want to go over the levels that I posted on Sunday over the weekend. That were some key areas, key levels in the NQ and the ES, and I just want to show you how they respect these levels and what I think is left to come for the rest of this week, right after the intro. All right, so if we take a look at the price action, these were the same levels that I drew out on Sunday. If you guys watched that video, you can kind of go back and use that as a reference. So price action was somewhere right over here, down here. And you can see that it had a very hard time getting through this first major level that I mapped out from that 19,555 to the 19,634. And again, I'm not necessarily trading these levels. I'll show you kind of the levels that I trade, intraday, more scalps. But these are just major areas that I use as kind of like brick walls or areas that I see that the market's going to have some bigger rejections. And as you can see, as price action entered into our first level down here, it had a really hard time getting through it. I think this was 19,631. This is about 100, no, this is more than 200 points of a push downwards from this level. And finally was able to break through here this morning. And as you can see, it had another difficult time getting through this level. So we got a pretty good rejection from this level back down to this level, which was about 180 points between these two levels. And then obviously when the big news with tariffs came out, we can see that price action blew through this level and tapped right into this level, rejected hard, and is pretty much in a free fall. And I don't know where the bottom end of this of that big news event is going to fall. But it's a good visual representation. I have this on one of my charts off to the side, and I always look at this chart, especially when I'm trying to map out my sniper scalps, as I like to call them. And I definitely don't want to be trading into specifically an area, let's just say an area right above it or right below it. So I kind of use it just as a reference, and it's definitely helped me out dramatically. And the levels just, week over week over week, have just proven to be areas of magnet and areas of rejection. So let's take a look at the ES. So again, these were the same levels that I mapped out over the weekend. And I told everybody it's going to be pretty hard for price action to want to get below this level at 55.65. And as you can see right here, I mean, it's exactly at the bottom of that level where it just couldn't get through. If you want, go back and watch that video from Sunday. It's a good reference. And from there, we kind of tapped right back into that same level. And now we're just kind of sitting. Oh, sorry. There we go. See if I can make that pretty. The better. So we got the tap into this level at the 57.32, and then we got a pretty good rejection about, I don't know, I want to say about 70 or 80 points on the ES. And then obviously the news has just kind of literally went to the top of this area to the exact bottom of this area. But again, just some really good reference points in the market to use when you're doing your day trading and taking a look at scalps. And if you follow me on, if you're following my levels that I post each morning in my Discord, you'll notice that I use the 15 and the 5 minute range, 5 minute time frame, and that's where I build my trading opportunities for the day in conjunction with volume profile to really find some very sniper entries. And with the new service that I have started through Discord, it's also on YouTube. So if you're interested in finding the same trades that I take each and every day, with the entry point, stop loss, take profit 1 and take profit 2, there is a signal service that I have introduced probably about a month and a half ago. It's been a fantastic winning rate on there. It was 100% in February, 70 something percent in March. And the nice thing about these trades is just very little heat. So I took 3 setups this week, one on Monday, one on Tuesday, and one today. So I'm going to go over the first trade that I took here on the NQ. I had an entry signal to go, and again, these signals are posted. They could be 20 to 30 minutes before the trade, but in most instances, it's several hours before the trade is coming. So it's not a signal service that is providing you with, hey, I just got into this trade, or, in the next minute, this trade's coming up. No, these are signals that are provided that give you advanced time to plot your strategy, or I should say plot your entries, put your bracket orders in place, and kind of wait to let the trade start. So let's go over March 31st. Had a setup here in the NQ. Short entry off of 19,436. And again, these are all my levels that I post each and every morning. They are adjusted based to the volume profile, where I see that there is a very high likelihood of a rejection, a temporary movement of price, not looking for full reversals. And I have take profits and stop losses put in place where, yes, risk to reward comes into it, but it's nowhere near my first thought. My first thought is, okay, where do I have the best chance of getting my take profit 1 and 2 based on price action and volume? And where do I have the best place to put my stop loss that I can reasonably feel that it's going to hit my TP before it hits my stop loss? That's the thought process. That is what I am looking for. And based on that, sometimes the risk to reward is great. Sometimes it's 1-to-1, and sometimes they're not the absolute greatest, but it's mainly based on areas where I feel there's a very good level of defense between the entry and the stop loss, and a free fall to get to my take profit 1 and 2. So as you can see on this trade, it was a short off of 19,436. I don't even think we had a point of drawdown on this trade. Hit entry and took our take profit 1 and 2 extremely quick. March 1st, which was yesterday, had another trade on the NASDAQ, had a short entry at 19,548, tapped into our entry, and believe the next candle got us to take profit 1, And then the second candle, these are 1 minute candles, by the way. So this trade took about, I don't know, about 2 minutes to take profit 1 and 2. And then this morning found a setup at, this was an entry long on the NASDAQ at 19,503. And this one had a, I don't know, I want to say maybe about 6 or 7 points of heat on it, but was able to knock out, take profit. We just had one take profit level on this one at 19,521, which we hit pretty easily. So there are setups on the NASDAQ, on the ES, and in gold. And, I provide updates on if setups get invalidated, the reasons why I invalidate some of the setups, and it's been going extremely well. It's been a nice little community that we've been building in that Signal service. So if you're interested in that, you can join right from YouTube below. If you're in my Discord, just go into the Signal service and you can join that as well. So be interested to see what the markets, how the markets react here tomorrow, and then I will provide you an end of week update on Friday. All right, take care, everybody.